Hello, testing. Okay, we're live. All right, so quick update on my trades real quick. So Bitcoin, we are slowly losing momentum. Remember last video I was in this trade from right here from this breakout with my stop loss right here. Basically the same place as last video, like last week, right? And they are slowly losing momentum. So this is actually a critical point for Bitcoin to essentially hold right here now. And because if we trade back below this, we're definitely losing them, and I'll have to close my trade in slight profits, thankfully. But hopefully we hold this just like this, and we don't. I mean, we can wick below it, but hopefully we hold it for new all-time highs or a breakout a little bit. Unlikely because of the slowing momentum, and I mean, just in my opinion, it's unlikely because also of the weekly double top that we perfectly had, essentially perfectly at 104. Yeah, 104 from the candle body. Essentially a perfect double top. This could be, a sign of weakness because obviously it's resistance. And let me just get this straight. And yeah, could be massive resistance and we can barely even wick above it. So if this keeps acting as resistance, the more it gets tested, the weaker it becomes, I believe. Yes. And or in this case, actually, it'd be stronger the more it gets tested. Actually, wait, I take that back. The more a support and resistance line gets tested, the weaker it becomes. So if we keep testing this, technically it would be weaker and we would, break up. But we actually need to flip it like this and act as support now instead of resistance like we are. And that could shoot us up to new all-time highs for Bitcoin. So that's the Bitcoin trade I'm in. And the Ethereum trade on the daily, I have it already drawn right here. I was in it from down here. So my stop loss right here. And, still going good. Consolidating at the highs, making new highs, actually, unlike Bitcoin. Wait, was Bitcoin? I mean, yeah, no, unlike Bitcoin, yeah, Ethereum's actually making new highs because 2 days ago on Tuesday, Ethereum made a new high and Bitcoin did not. It was on Monday that it made a new high, but also it closed right here. So it didn't close at a new high like Ethereum did. So Ethereum is actually unironically, for some reason, stronger than Bitcoin, which is, I don't know if that's a good or bad sign. Probably not a good sign because you would want Bitcoin to lead. Because, I mean, I guess it's a good sign for other altcoins, but I don't trade other altcoins. So it could just be a good thing for Ethereum. And I'm not in a trade on Solana, but Solana does look bullish, flipping and reclaiming on the daily, the 50-week moving average, and that's pretty bullish for a significant uptrend. It did close on the weekly above it, so that's pretty good for Solana holders. And, you know, green bands may be about to flip. They're inflecting up, so that's bullish. But this week and next week will definitely tell if we flip this moving average as support, and that's pretty bullish for Solana. But okay, that's a quick update on my trades, and I need to tell you guys how to trade systematically so you can be a profitable trader. So I will make a whole separate video dedicated to this, but just really quick, I need to tell you how to do it. So the one thing you need, well, you need three things. You need entry, obviously, stop loss, and take profits slash exit, right? Those are the only things you need to have a system. Okay, I don't care about that. These are the only things you need. You need a entry, where you're going to enter, you need to where you put your stop loss, and you need to where you're going to exit or take profit. So that's all you need to create a system, guys. So let's say you're a breakout trader. You trade the breakouts. You trade every new all-time high breakout, You break out, or we break out right here, new all-time high, and then you place your stop loss at the swing low, and you take profit on a market structure break. So you use no indicators, and market structure break would be like right here. We lose this. Boom, you close right there after going long right here. And that could be a valid trade. 2.3R, that's valid. That's legit. And in 41 days in a month, that's not that bad. That's not that good, but those aren't the best rules ever. I'm just telling you how to create rules. So obviously you can use indicators, but actually what you really need to do if you don't know anything about price action or anything, you need to learn about price action. And the very first link in the description is where I learned. You join the boot camp and you learn how to essentially create a system. And if you don't know anything about trading or price action, like market structure breaks and BOSs, breakup structure, and false breakouts, and all this price action stuff, if you don't know anything about that, bootcamp in the link in the description will teach you how to do it, essentially. And it'll take you day by day. It'll teach you exactly what you need to know. And that's where I learned how to trade because before in 2020, I was just completely gambling like a degen. I didn't even have a stop loss. Guys, I didn't even have a stop loss when I was trading. And I just got liquidated. I lost everything. It's just, that's not how you do it. So you take rules, let's say on the 1 hour, like even just use an indicator. Like if you really want to use an indicator, 1 hour flip of this 50-day moving average, 50-day simple moving average. We flip it, it becomes support, and we break above it. Boom, that could be a system. I've never tested this, but boom. Then you place your stop loss right there, and then that's your entry. And then let's say you ride it until it flips until it breaks the moving average. Essentially, in this trade, well, first of all, you're up like insane 6R. That'd be insane if you caught this, right? And then, the price is going to, this catches up with the price. So this moving average moves like this and the price moves like this. No matter what, you're closing in profit, even if it's, flipping bearish. So like, obviously you could get, in fact, if this would load, you could get terrible entries like this, but that's essentially how you create a system. I definitely need to make a way better video explaining it, but okay, yeah, that's the simplest way to create a system. And I'm going to make a way better video, like I just said. And if you really need to learn, if you can't learn on your own, which it's like, dude, just join the boot camp, click the link, $50 to learn how to trade profitable and print money out of the markets. Like, dude, it's the best value ever if you want to become a profitable trader. And, you know, literally all you need is this entry, stop loss, take profit, and then you get those rules, you test it 100 times, and that's how you find out if your system's good or not. And, super high time frame. Let's say you don't want to be a day trader, you just want to be a super high time frame swing trader. Take the exact same thing I just showed you on the 1 hour. Boom, we flip this 50-day moving average. Boom, bada bing. You go long right here because we flipped it and held it. Stop loss right there, whatever. And then, you close it as soon as we break it. Boom, 3.5R in like 3 months, that's not that bad. Especially for a passive trade that you just set up on the daily. It's essentially free if you just test this, which I did test this. This is a profitable system, actually, but you need to test it so you have conviction in the system, okay? So that's going to do it for the video, and I will make a way better video later on. Yeah, peace out, GM. Yeah, all that good stuff.